Let me first say that on behalf of National Action Network and many of the groups that became involved in the after what happened to Rodney King, that we come today to stand with the family who had to share him against his will or plans with the world. And we respect the wishes of the family. About 5 weeks ago, Rodney came to New York and did my radio show with me, and then later my television show. And we talked about how in 91 would happen. I talked about 92. I led marches here in Los Angeles when the verdict came in. It was ironic at that time. 5 weeks ago, Rodney said to me he wanted to be remembered as someone that would try to bring people together and try to bring about righteousness. He was talking about his book at that time. Little did I know he was really giving us his statement of how he wanted to be remembered and his legacy. I would hope that as we remember him, that we remember him the way he wanted to be remembered. And that is as a unifier. He bore in his body the scars of what an injustice could be to anyone. But he raised above his scars to try to make this a better country for everyone. And that is what I think we ought to remember Rodney King for. He never showed bitterness. He never showed revenge. He never mocked or scarred even the police department. He tried to use his scars to heal the nation. And I think that we should remember him as a healer. Few could take the pain he took and rise above it. Mistakes people make in life should not be the things that define them. It's their ability to rise above mistakes. Rodney King never tried to be a civil rights leader. He was a symbol of what we all want for human rights for everyone. He was one of the greatest symbols in American history. And he never, ever mocked it by one word of recall or one word of venom. Everyone remembers when he said, "Can we get along?" as his lawyer said. I hope that that still resonates throughout the country today. That we want to get along as one, of all races, of all religions.
And I said, he was your G. But to us in the community, he was our Rodney King. He was the Emmett Till of our era. I was in South Los Angeles with my little girl when the news broke about the verdict. You know, when a lot of us didn't know Rodney when he was beaten. But when we saw that video, it felt like it was our brother. Our hearts broke. We grieved. And it was an outpouring of grief.
We're to pay our respects to Rodney King, someone we view in our community as a hero. He's a symbol of civil rights. The fact that Rodney King was the victim of police brutality is something that the whole world saw when he got beat. But more importantly, we saw Rodney King also be a champion for justice and for unity when he came out and said 5 words that will be his legacy forever. Can't we just all get along? Can't we just all get along? So Rodney is, to me, a symbol of unity and peace and love for the community, and wanted racial relations to be much better after the city burnt down in 1992.
We're here to commemorate and celebrate the life of Rodney King. Rodney was very important in our life in that he was the spark that started the greatest movement in the last part of the 20th century into the 21st century, which was the civil unrest after his beating. There are those of us who saw the beating, thought that maybe he would have died then, but thank God he kept him here for a purpose. That purpose was to show the world that police brutality was real. We had it on film, and after that, they changed things at the LAPD, and then God decided, all right, I'll give him a chance to write his book, say his own words, make peace with the police, and then on Father's Day, as the father of the civil unrest of 1992, he took him home. So God bless him.
I have to say, this is the funeral of Rodney King, a brother who changed the face of the LAPD. A brother that allowed me to see that no man or woman should be beaten like that. And it was because of him that I threw down the basketball and got involved as a community activist. And I'm happy to say today, as a result of 20 years, the last 6 years was one where I was able to stop the LAPD from using those long-handle metal flashlights. Even though Rodney was beaten by a baton and the taser, I'm able to say to you all that as a result of that beating, something has been done in regards to police brutality when we talk about using their weapons.
I'm happy that we came together to send the brother home. A little disappointed that more people weren't here. I think there are a lot of black men and women who owe Rodney King a debt of gratitude for the ass whooping they didn't get from the police because of what happened to him, and I would have liked to have seen more people here. But he'll always be remembered. I was just telling Kee-Kee, I just can't believe he's gone because, like, literally a couple of weeks ago, I was with him. So it's just kind of, you know, that feeling. But you know what? I'm happy that, again, we came together, we sent him home, we remembered the good times, and we give the man credit for how he changed our lives forever. He'll always be a part of black history and American history.
It's just it's a bad time. I mean, you know, it's unfortunate. We lost a brother, you know what I'm saying? I didn't get a chance to meet him personally. I met a couple of his family members, but, I mean, you know, of course, he changed my life. You know what I'm saying? After April 29th, it changed everything. So, yeah, I mean, you know, his legacy is going to go on. So.